So our first part is just loading the data sets and setting up our environment. In our first code right here, I just executed it, put in my student ID number, and created, as you can see, my student ID right there. And my data set's loading right here. I imported my pandas, NumPy, and my other imports. And right here, you can see my inquiries DF and bookings DF just being inserted as this inquiries DF and booking DF names. Alright, for our first inspection, I just showed the first 10 rows of each of our data frames. Right here I have my inquiries DF. I did dot head. That just shows the top 10 inquiries for that. As you can see right here, here's our result. And if I can scroll down right here, I did the same thing for my bookings DF. I got my 10 rows right here, and this is just the print function. And the .info method is kind of similar, but not really. You can see right here it shows the type for each of the column names. See, booking ID is a non-null object, and yeah, it does it for all of our rows, as we can see here. And once again, we're doing the same thing for our inquiries DF. I did the .info. It summarized our inquiries DF. So you can see Boolean, float, integer. Another cool method that we have is this describe method. We can get a ton of statistics on our columns. We have count, mean, min, all that. Some more cool things we did in this assignment. We did the cost analysis. We basically just used NumPy. We created an array for the total costs, and then later on we printed statistics for that. So we did our mean, median, minimum, and maximum costs. With NumPy, it makes it so much more easier than just using traditional Python. So that is definitely very helpful. From there, we took the original budget per person and cost per person columns, and we converted those to NumPy arrays. And then after that, once we had those arrays, we subtracted our original budgets from our cost per person arrays. So we have our array right here, our final result. This is our cost difference array right here. After this, real quick, we did our numpy.mean. This basically just did our average for our cost difference. As we can see, it's negative 10,873. That is our average for our cost difference. Alright, now for some more stats. Right here we have our random.seed method. So at first I didn't really know what this was, but as I continued to do my project, I had some errors, and I realized that instead of having student ID, I had student's ID for some reason, and that messed up a lot more methods in the future. So I had to somehow find that, and I'm glad I did, because it fixed my whole thing. Alright, now for merging data sets. I personally chose the left merge just because we wanted to keep all the null for the bookings DF, and we took any of the null later on and replaced them. I just executed the code that was given, so this basically just identified columns with more than 30% missing values and dropped them. I just clicked this button and it magically did it for me, so thank you for that. Alright, now we had to, for the partner age column, fill any missing values with the mean age of the primary traveler column. As we can see right here, I did my numpy.mean. I got the mean of it first, and then I put it in our merged DF right here, and then I showed it again right here, and we can see right here, looks pretty good. And yeah, for the data transformation section, all I did was I'd use the datetime function for this one. I converted columns to datetime objects, and then for the next one I created the booking to travel days column. You can see I did my booking to travel days, my travel start date, and then my booking date. And for this part right here, it was a bit confusing at first, but I clicked it and I was having some issues, but I fixed it later on and it ended up working. And right here I did display the count of customers in each segment. Our small group had 818, medium group with 372, and large group with 43. And for our data visualization, we used this for our customer segment, but I'll get into that later. But first off, I want to get into this top 10 booking by countries chart. Our United States had over 350, so that was our most popular customer, and then our United Kingdom fell behind a little bit with 250, South Africa with 250 again, and then Germany with less, with around 70. Some key takeaways from this histogram was ages 40 to 50 were the most frequent traveler ages, so that is definitely something to take into consideration for upper level management when they're doing marketing. My scatter plot wasn't really that helpful. To be honest, a lot of the dots overlapped, as I mentioned in my description right here, but I don't believe that the scatter plot was really the right chart for this. I mean, it did point out some outliers, but that's about it. See how we have all these dots? I'm not sure what that means when there's a bunch of dots there, so it's just a bit unclear. And for my box plot, it's a bit better. We can see my small group. You can just see that our small group, medium, and large group segments had like slowly increasing by each customer segment as they grow. See, like the small group one is of course going to be cheaper. Medium group is going to be more expensive than that, and then large group is going to be more expensive than small and medium. And basically my overall takeaways from the RhinoAfrica's customers and their booking habits are that ages around 40 to 50 are the most frequent customers. Countries like United States, United Kingdom, South Africa, and Germany are the most popular customer locations, so our target audiences are going to be living in those countries. And upper level management should definitely consider marketing towards these groups if they want to see the best results. But overall, this project was pretty helpful with just learning NumPy, Python, and data visualization for Python. I definitely learned a lot, and I realized that NumPy and Pandas saves me a lot of time when I'm doing these data analysis. So overall, I think this project was a success.